Guys, welcome to the Bazaar. Today, I feel like I'm well equipped to give you a Vanessa tier list. And listen, at the beginning, I was a Vanessa enjoyer, if I could say so myself, but I slowly transitioned into dooley because he became broken. And the reason I don't feel like I was ready to give you a Vanessa item tier list is because the last patch just completely changed Vanessa. Pufferfish is into the game, and yeah, she just changed completely as a character. I'm just gonna say because her weapon build is completely gutted. You might find times where it works, but I'll talk about that when I go into the items. I'm going to bring you in the future. I'm going to try to give you a pig one, but the problem is I don't think I'm well equipped to give you a very good tier list. I'm going to try because I don't have enough games on pig. I can give you an accurate assessment of how good of an Vanessa item is, how good a dooley item is, because I have like maybe 100 games on each. So yeah, I'm going to try to give you my best and most accurate opinion. Try to give you a barometer of why I think this item is good or why it deserves to be placed in the tier I put it. The tier, don't pay attention to the tier. I put the only ones you really should be looking at is will be nerfed and garbage, because I don't even remember what I put on the dooley ones, but just know that when I say when an item is garbage, I don't think you're ever gonna use it, because there's probably like a better iteration of that item, or basically there's no reason to use that item whatsoever. It's the stats are either too bad, like there's literally a one-on-one comparison item that you would just rather use, and it's not even like a replacement filler item for the item you should be going for. Like the item is literally what it says. It's garbage. You're never going to even put it on your board. Even with an enchantment won't save it. That's how bad it is. And will be nerfed. I think these items, when they bring more items or characters into the bazaar, there's going to be some interactions which are way too broken, or the item, I'm going to say, is going to be consistent. This is something I want to add to. I don't know if the characters are going to have items added into their item pool. I'm pretty sure they are, because if there's some items are getting removed, I'm pretty sure some items are going to be replaced in the future, because they're taking the way, I want to say the decision making they're doing is like, if an item is too broken, they just scrap it completely. They remove it from the pool. So if they keep doing that, you're gonna have to replace the items eventually. And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a patch where, because most games do this, by the way, most card games do this. They just add like 5 items into the characters for, like, let's say for example it's Christmas, then 5 characters have like Christmas items into them, their pool added, right, or some shit like that. But let's just get right into it, because I have a lot of shit I have to say. I'm not gonna rant as much as that I do with Vanessa, because I'm pretty sure people don't think Vanessa's broken. I have a different opinion. I think Vanessa has the most consistent top end. Pig is like, when Pig has a broken item, a broken build, day fucking 15, nobody can beat it. Don't even fucking try it. It's day 16, you see Pig, close your fucking game, press concede, you're done, bro. Pig is like here. But if we're talking about day 14, 15, if you see a Vanessa with 9 wins, bro, you're done, because it's like a one-shot build. It's a poison build that dooley wish it he fucking has with the flask. I'm gonna talk the build more in tandem, but I feel like, and I'm gonna give you a small spoiler alert. Crow's Nest is an insane fucking item, and I'm gonna say, go ahead and say it's toxic. I'm just gonna put a Crow's Nest in first. Now that I'm talking about that, Crow's Nest is, and I think Bazaar has an ideology where they don't want you to spam the same build. Sadly, Crow's Nest plays into that way too fucking easy. Because if you put Crow's Nest, let's say you put Crow's Nest on your board, you're already forced to put one item, right? Let's say you did like last patch where you pull a lot of weapons. That's fine. That was one of the best builds. Like, you put Crow's Nest, like 5 items, they all crit, you one shot your opponent. True. But how the game is right now, You only put one item. You only put one weapon into Crow's Nest. The problem is Scimitar is completely broken with Crow's Nest, right? So when you take every single item into consideration to put in tandem with Crow's Nest, it's literally just 2 items completely together. The rest of the items, yes, help, but it's just always those 2 items. They're too broken together. So it's just it forces like a build, and even Reynard says himself, the point of the game isn't for you to like force a build. And even if you do it, it's just gonna lose you the game, which isn't how do I say it? Isn't the result that you always have right now. Like if you force Scimitar with Crow's Nest, you're going to get wins, bro. Like even it's a like half-assed forced. So I'm just gonna go ahead that Crow's Nest is one of the items that I think in the near future is going to be nerfed right now. That's my opinion. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put the second. This was a will be nerfed item, but it got nerfed. But these items that you put them alone in your board, and that's it. You basically have your build. You have 1 weapon or 2 weapon set. I'll just help you get the wins. The rest doesn't actually matter, bro. Like you're buying items just to work in tandem with that item. But this item got way too nerfed. Let me actually read the iteration of what it is now, because I have it right here. It says reload your items 1 ammo and charge them 1 second, and your items have 1, 2, 3 max ammo. And the item it gives you is like 1 tier below for what it gives you. I think it had a max ammo nerf. So before it gave 2, 3, 4 max ammo, in my opinion, that shit didn't need to get changed. It was just the free item it gave at the end of each day. Because this item in particular on port, was beginning at the beginning of nerf because it gave you a lot of ammo items from other characters, which was completely broken. I 100% agree with it. Shouldn't give you freeze potion. It shouldn't give you batteries. It shouldn't give you like there's a lot of ammo items that are just broken. That was all they needed to do for this item, because even if you have like say 4, 5 kunais, I don't think it was broken enough. I guess the tier of the item it gave you was a warranted nerf, but I don't think it had it to get the ammo capacity nerfed, because that was its only gimmick. I'm not gonna say it's consistent enough because it's just too nerfed, so I'm just gonna put it in situational. So there we go. We're already past those 2 items, which I think were the most, in general, the most toxic large items. Because by the way, I'm going from large items to small items in sequence, just so you guys know. Water wheel. I think water wheel. I'm gonna put water wheel in broken just because it works with other items, and I think it's one of the items that has the same ideology where whatever you put next to it with this item is going to be generally good, right? So I'm just going to put it in broken because it's actually really, really good. And you guys are going to see that most of Vanessa's large items are broken. The rest are going to be like, you're just going to see you guys are going to see like a pattern here. So yeah, water wheel is really broken, especially since Vanessa has a lot of items that stack when you haste. So when you have this, you can put, like, for example, the ray fish. You could put trebuchet. Like, you see, you have a lot of items just work in part with water wheel that are just have too much synergy. I'm just gonna put water wheel in broken. Oh, by the way, most of the items that I'm going to take into consideration how good they're going to be in the future and how good are with the other characters, because that actually takes in consideration a lot. Tropical Island is okay. I'm gonna go ahead to put ahead and put it in broken. I'm not gonna put it in will be nerfed just because we don't. I wish there was like I don't want to say spreadsheet. I want to say like there was a statistic where how much your win range, how much will the delta be if you have a tropical island sitting in your inventory. Because I'm gonna tell you completely now, like getting 10 health or 20 health, whatever it is, at the end of each day, end of each hour is absolutely broken. That means if you get, let's say, 50% coconuts at the end of the day, you get like 100, 150 health at the end of the days, and that's absolutely broken for free. I feel like that's one of the most broken items too. Trebuchet, absolutely broken. You guys know that this is one of the Vanessa's core items. I don't know what else to say about it. Use weapon or haste, charge this 1 second. So there's a lot of, you can go weapon builds to charge this. You can go haste build to charge it. Make a build. The only thing that is that you actually need items to make this work. So it's basically like the opposite of water wheel. That's why I don't put him in will be nerfed, because you still need your weapons or something to haste this, and you still need a weapon for water wheel. To water wheel to be good. So we're just gonna leave them a broken, because they're Vanessa's best items right now. And when I say broken, it's like, I mean they're too consistent. If you have this on your board, you're actually just winning. Boulder is. I was actually looking at this right now. Like I've played like 50 Vanessa games already, and I haven't seen Boulder, but I think it's because this only comes in Diamond. I think this is in the game right now, 100%. I'm gonna put this in situational. By the way, guys, the Boulder, if you guys don't know, it's literally the Exodia of the Bazaar. Vanessa has 2 Exodias, by the way. I don't know why they put both of them in Vanessa. Basically, what this does is a 1 ammo item that deals damage equal to your opponent's max health, but as a 24-second cooldown, right? The problem is why this is good is that there's some items that break this. There's a tool from the tool check that charges a weapon to the left every time you're using an item to the right. It absolutely fucking breaks this. Port charges this. What else charges this? Battery charges this. There's actually like a few items that if you actually have the ability to haste this, it's Exodia, because it deals damage equals to your opponent's health. And if you make it have crit, it's like you deal double your opponent's max health. I'm just gonna put it in a situation because when it works, you actually just win, right? If you make a build, I'm gonna put it as garbage, because when I've seen it work, that means it actually just wins. There's not a build where you put the boulder and it's like, oh well, maybe it's gonna win. No, it's actually just wins. Submarine. This is an item where if you ask me, oh shit, if you ask me last patch, don't tell me this actually. Okay. Sorry about that. This is an item that if you asked me last patch, I would have put it in consistent. I mean in broken. Sorry, because of how many items were changed in tandem with this. I'm just gonna put it in consistent because it's an item, but that by itself does a lot. It's 3-second cooldown, it shields and it does damage, and yeah, it's actually a consistent item. I'm not gonna put it a broken because it scales too low, and shielding isn't actually the best at its best right now, because shielding doesn't even fucking matter. Poison dooley is gonna poison you to death. Burn, it just outburns the shielding of this. So yeah, but it's a really good item to scale with. So yeah, it's decent. Shipwreck. It says your aquatic items have 1 multicast. I'm gonna put it in consistency because it's kind of like the same thing as the submarine. The only problem with this is that you only get it at a diamond, as a diamond rarity, which matters a lot. If not, I would actually bump into broken, but it just means your aquatic item has multicast. And there's way too much good multi. Like if you put submarine next to shipwreck, that means your submarine has multicast, right? The problem is it's diamond, and it's 48 gold. So that has a lot to do with it. The problem is if you get shipwreck, that means you have like items to actually use with it. And it's a vehicle too. Like there's a lot of skills that just works with it. Like I'm gonna say for the most part, it's a consistent item. When I say consistent, it means like an item you put it in your board and it automatically has value. You can there's gonna be some items that you have in the bazaar that you don't necessarily know how good it's going to be in your build. So you have to like use your PvE match to see if it works better than the items you have before. But shipwreck doesn't have that effect. Shipwreck, you put it in and automatically has like a staggering effect. You know it's gonna be better than what you have if you buy it. So I guess we're just gonna leave it consistent right now. Lighthouse. Okay, Lighthouse, I'm gonna put it at situational, and I love and I've said this before. I love the builds that actually goes for this type of play. The problem is slow and Vanessa. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but slow has an inherent problem. The meta for right now is too fast. It's too fast. Like by the way, they made a change for the sandstorm, and most games don't even go to sandstorm. That's how fast the meta is right now. Before, most of the games used to go to sandstorm, and you can argue with me like these items that slow actually have like an effect on the board, like a bigger effect on the board. But slow isn't actually as broken as it or as good as it was before, and slow. I'm gonna say slow isn't like freeze, bro. It is what it is. Slow only has more value the higher the cooldown an item has, and if you're working against items that have a 6-second cooldown or lower, freeze is just gonna be ultimate better. I don't know the exact numbers, but by the way, haste counteracts slow, but you can't counteract freeze. If something is frozen, you lose the haste duration. And if it charges, if your item has charge procs and your item is frozen, you just lose it. Slows just has like a lot of way to counter it, if that makes sense. I'm just gonna leave it at situational. Iceberg 2, I'm just gonna leave it here, and it's literally, it's not that it follows the same reasoning as this, but this doesn't do damage. If this, like for example, let's say, shielded you, even at the very least, like if your opponent uses an item, freeze it and gain 40 shield or something. But the simple fact that only freezes for 1 second, I don't think is enough to warrant 3 item slots, and it's a diamond. You gotta waste 48 gold. If the freeze pebble was still in the game, it was still like, when I'm talking about the freeze pebble, is one of the items. I think it's from it's one of the character. What it does is that you sell it and you increase the duration of your freeze item +1. I think they removed that from the game because it was too broken with items. But one of the combinations from last meta was actually you put iceberg, you sold the pebble, you put it into this, and your iceberg just literally froze 3 seconds on item proc, which was absolutely broken. But right now it's just whatever. Flagship. Listen, I would have put this as broken last patch because it what was the best items, but they've changed the what's it called? They've changed like the attributes of the items, like they being how do I say, they being weapon, vehicle, aquatic, whatever. They switched them around, and warship, if I'm not mistaken, there was an item with it that worked in tandem really well. Let me see if the change is right here. It's harpoon, and if I'm not mistaken, I think harpoon is broken inside the game. Correct me if I'm not, but it's way harder to get the 5 procs on flagship right now, or that's what it feels like. And what it feels like is actually just enough. Like if you have 10 runs and your flagship is not working as intended, like you might as well just running trebuchet or any other like scimitar. Flagship just suffers from the scimitar effect. Like if you're gonna use the crow's nest, you're gonna use it with scimitar. There's no reason to use the flagship unless it's the only thing you draft, I guess. But yeah, it's just like flagship suffers that the friend, unless you get an Aiden, like the friend is just really awkward in this build. And again, the flagship only has like 1 build because you need to have a tool ammo property friend. Yeah, and the friend for Vanessa's are just too garbage. That's what it is. So your build is gonna be subpar. Electric eels. This is a really good item. The problem is most of the meta doesn't use like multiple procs of weapons, right? This is the only thing. If you told me if this was good last meta, I would have told you absolutely yes, because medium crook was a thing. It still is, but it's not as good as the last patch. Burst Vanessa was the thing. This would one-shot your opponent. It was really good. So I'm just gonna put it here because it's actually the better one. It's like you can actually like sweep some wins with this. Plus it slows. So if you go like this and this, I think it's one of the only ways this is gonna get like a lot of burn into your opponent. Like if your opponent uses dooley and you put this and you put this, he's gonna burn himself. And damn. Listen, I think if you told me this patch, I would have put this on consistent. I'm gonna put it in a situation. Vanessa's aquatic items aren't just the same, bro. That it's literally just that, because slowing for 10 seconds is good, and destroying all your all small items, which Dooley has like 5 or 4 small items on his build. This is actually just crack. By the time you proc this, you probably have 500 poison on you. That's the problem, or 500 burn on you. That's a problem. And you only getting in diamond, that's another factor into it. It's just a situational item. I'm going to try to put it in order, I guess, just so you guys can have like a visual assessment of it. Cove is by far one of the most broken econ items. I'm just gonna put it here. Guys don't know what it does. Every time you sell an item, this gains value for +1. So it's basically like, it's literally just a bank, by the way. Cha-ching noise. Basically what this does is that it allows you to put money into the Cove. This is like, there's a better way to put it. It allows you to sell like, I'm gonna talk to you about the broken interaction with Cove. Whenever you go into chocolate days, into gumball days, you're actually not wasting money at all. But the problem is you put the money into the Cove, so you're putting yourself in a situation where you have to sell the Cove eventually. But that's nothing, bro. It's literally just free gumballs and free chocolates. So basically, every time you go into chocolate, it's literally get 5 gold and the chocolates. You go into the gumball day, it's get 10 gold plus the gumballs. Like, it's one of the most aquatic, one of the most broken econ items there are. Then we have Cannon Blade, Cannonade. This item, it just doesn't do enough damage. Just whenever you use a weapon, deal 50, 100 damage. There's better small and medium item combinations that out damage it. So there's no reason to use Cannonade whatsoever. You could argue that actually, if this would be in Dooley, it would be much better because it would work in tandem with the core. The problem is Vanessa can't use it like well enough, right? Vanessa can't actually use this well enough, and like I said, there's this. I don't want to pull it at garbage because there's some ways you might make it work where it's just gonna burst down your opponent. Like, you have a small, like, I'm so tempted to put it into garbage, but I know it works sometimes, so I'm just gonna put it there. Let's just leave it there. And Ballista. I think I'm gonna put Ballista in consistent because just haste is just good in general. Vanessa's only items that are actually good are the haste items. Oh, actually, this isn't the one that I'm talking about. This is Ballista. Like, no, this is actually just situational because ammo items just suck in general right now. So we're just putting Ballista here. If you asked me last patch, this item would have been absolutely broken. But one of the problems with this, it's not like Trebuchet. This has like, I don't want to say an internal cooldown, but the way it procs, it's like it has its own tick, right? So it doesn't go like, if it has 50 multicast, it doesn't go like a machine gun. It doesn't go like 50 times its damage. It actually like has an animation, so it goes like tick, 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 and it actually takes time for it to do the 50 procs of damage. So some things just, even poison out damages. So yeah, whatever. Pufferfish, rip pufferfish. But I'm gonna put it here because I'm actually a little bit pissed that pufferfish isn't in the game, but poison monitor lizard is. Hey, you guys can fight about that shit all you want. I think it's an injustice, bro. How could they do my boy pufferfish? How they didn't do monitor, bro? Monitor lizard has old pufferfish text, which by the way they changed because pufferfish was broken. Not only that, monitor lizard has a haste proc for himself. What the fuck is that bullshit, bro? You can argue with me that Vanessa's aquatic items just work more in synergy with pufferfish, but who the fuck cares, bro? Dooley can get animal core. That's literally an injustice. But okay, you know what? It's out of the game. Let's just put it where he is. Good riddance, my boy. You poisoned the well battle. But we do have our replacements in the form of Weather Glass. And I really do think Weather Glass... The problem is with Weather Glass has a problem. And I'm going to tell you what the problem is. It has way too much combinations of items you can use this with, right? So this is when you have another burn, poison, slow, or freeze. This has multicast for one for each. And again, remember when I said the one build a one item build? This is going to be a problem because if you draft Weather Glass with another character, it doesn't matter what character this is. This shit is going to work. And not only that, enchantments are a thing, which means Weather Glass can have broken interactions. And on top of that, I think it's just way too easy to proc, right? It's like pre-nerfed. What's that? Shit, I forgot what Pig's item is. The bird. It literally got the nerf treatment because it had too much multi-cat procs by itself. Like, it was too broken, right? Dude, and let me tell you a story. When you have Weather Glass with Poison Dooley or with Burn Dooley, it's fucking insane. Like, there's some interactions by themselves that I just, every time I see Weather Glass with Vanessa herself, the problem with Vanessa is that she's just in a very awkward situation with small items, but small items are the best thing to par with them with. But it's still broken. Every time, it's like the top end. Every time I see like a very broken Vanessa build, it uses Weather Glass, and it just one shot to you. So I'm just gonna put this as broken because it's actually like really good. Wanted poster. I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna put it in situational. Just because sometimes I don't think this warrants wasting the gold or wasting the 2 inventory slots. Because if you're early game and you waste 8 gold on this, it actually like hinders you a lot. And when you're like waiting to the game, 1 EXP doesn't actually do anything. I guess buying in a diamond does something, but it's just gonna be you're gonna be in a situation is that, do I want to waste this much gold for this reward, right? But again, this is one of the items that you do, if you do have the gold, it actually is really good. So I'm just gonna put it one of the best. I'm here. Tortoise shells here. Item gain 3, 5, 10 for the fight when you use a non-weapon item. Shield 10. Okay, this has actually. Where do I have to twist this? Anyways, can I actually delete this? No, we can't. Anyways, I'm gonna put it in situational, just because shield isn't as good with Vanessa, right? Vanessa. I don't think Vanessa just uses shield in general as good as other characters, so let's just put it. I'm just gonna put it in situational because, let's say you do like a gimmicky no damage build, or you draft like a claw, or you draft like the pig shield. It's okay, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna put this again here. This is torpedo. Anything that uses like ammo procs just suffered from the tier list in general because just ammo items are just bad, right? Tripwire, like I said, this is another item that just this is an item that works in combination with the lighthouse. The problem is it suffers from the same it's diamond, so it's expensive. I think this is 32 gold if I'm not mistaken, and you're only getting in a diamond tier. So plus it only slows for 1 second. If you told me it slows for 2 seconds, which slow is easier to stack than the freeze from this. But I don't think the gold just justifies you buying this, making this build. Like, it's already a gimmicky build. I don't think it warrants you like going 32 gold deep into this. There's better slow items. It's like AKA this. Then we have Star Chart. I'm gonna put Star Chart bitch just because of the interactions it has. I'm gonna put it as consistent. These are the items you always buy just so when you go to the port to get the Star Chart effect, which is 5 gold and 1 EXP. It got nerfed, so that's enough of a reason. Actually, if you told me this was last patch, I would have put this here as broken because 2 exp is absolutely fucking insane for wasting an hour. Swatchbuckle. Do I swatchbuckle first? Yeah. Okay. Let's do swatchbuckle, which is I think it's if swatchbuckle didn't start golden, I would have put it consistent because you could actually like find this earlier. But the simple fact you have to try to find this and then replace it, I'm gonna put it as the best consistent item because this is one of the items that just breaks your damage builds, especially with Crow's Nest. So let's put it there. Spyglass. It says adjacent items have 50% chance, and at the start of the day, a random enemy item has its cooldown increased 6 seconds. This item isn't bad. I'm just gonna put it as garbage because like we gotta start somewhere, right? And this is one of the items you actually never put into your build. The problem is with this item is that it's a random item, bro. You don't know how wasting 2 medium slot for such. First of all, it only gives 50% crit, which is like redundant in some builds, right? But the random enemy item for 3, I'd rather it be like like the atomic clock. It does all items for 2 seconds. It being like a lower value, but the atomic clock is much better because you can put ammos into it, and it does 3. I think it does at diamond level 3. It does a 3 second cooldown increase. Anyways, the point is, it's not good, bro. If it gave the item with the slowest cooldown 6 second more cooldown, you could warrant it being a counter build against single weapon items. But it being random, let's say you go into the Vanessa, you go and she has, for example, scimitar push rope, and you hit the rope, you're just gonna lose because that medium item slot could be anything to like progress your board. So let's just put it. I'm just gonna put it in garbage here. Shovel. Shovel is one of the best items. See, the problem with shovel is that it's medium and it costs a shit ton and it doesn't actually do anything in your board. If it did something in your board, it would actually be really good, but there's too much small items to warrant this. But I feel like this is one of the items that break your builds because it can give you freeze potions, it can give you like Aidens, it can give you so much shit that's actually good. So I'm gonna put it one of the best situational items because it's still the econ item at the end of the day. Shark Ray. I feel like Shark Ray is pretty consistent as far as weapons go, so I'm just gonna put it there. There's not really much to say about this. There's Vanessa has a lot of haste interactions, so this is gonna rack up. The question is if it racks up more than other builds, but that's just something you can't quantify like just by looking at the item. The item by itself is just good enough, right? Sniper. For the Crow's Nest build, I think this is like top 3, right? And if it's top 3 going with Crow's Nest with one of the most broken Vanessa builds, we can just put it like one of the most consistent ones, and I think that's fair. The good part about the sniper is that whenever you buff it with attack damage, it just goes an absurd amount. Like if you give it 5, remember it has quadruple damage, I think it, or triple damage, if I'm not mistaken. Shit, I have it right here. Oh, it's okay, so it's 10 more damage if it's in diamond, 3 more times damage if it's whatever. If you put let's say for example a silver sharpening stone, it gives you 15 attack damage instead of 5, which is really good. So it just racks up damage way too quickly. Even if you have the sharpening tool, I think it's what it's called. When it gives 30 instead of 30, it gives you the multiplier by itself. So it's just every time you give like sniper above, it's just really good. Shark claws, dude. This is one of the items the old items I love building shit with. This is an item that I wish wasn't like this with crook build is absolutely insane. This with dooley is one of the good core builds. I just wish this wasn't a Vanessa item. But it's a really good item, and it's aquatic, so I'm just going to put it consistent because it helps you. It's one of the good early game items. So we're going to leave it there. Sextant is one of Vanessa's decent, I'm going to call it decent at best haste items. So I'm going to put a situation because you have to crit with it, so it only works with weapon builds. Or if it works with healing with with critting with heal and shielding isn't actually as impactful. So you're only using this with weapon crit, and sometimes weapon crits are just too redundant, bro. That's just what it is. But if you use it for its haste ability, it's actually really good. So but it's only situational at most. Rowboat comes in golden. Rip my boy pufferfish. This was one of the actually pufferfish good items. I'm gonna put it in garbage right now because you need to have aquatic items, bro. That's its only problem. It had to come in bronze. No, this had to come in silver. The problem is water reel comes in silver, bro. So by the time you can get a golden, whatever the fuck this is, the water boat, you already have the water wheel. That's it. It is what it is. Damn, rifle. Rifle is one of the good ones. It's one of the best item early game. So just gonna put a consistent. I think sniper is better because it's way easier to stack this up. But this is just like a one item build by itself, like early game. So we're just gonna put it here. Repeater, bro. How the mighty have fallen, bro. I don't want to put it as garbage, but it's repeater isn't what it used to be. I'm just gonna put it here because it still uses some builds, whatever. Bro, ramrod. This item is actually better than what it used to be. I'm just gonna put it in garbage, right? Because nobody uses it, but it's better now. It's a way better item now because it actually warrants sometimes putting it into your board more than other items. So I'm just gonna put it there because it just have some uses. Powder keg. Powder keg is very situational, but it's really good. The problem is you need to put crit on it. That is the only problem. Because it does 50% of your opponent's max health, but obviously if you make a crit, it's 100% of your max health. It's like budget boulder, right? But you need to actually have something in tandem with this for it to actually like, or give it double crit damage, which is a thing. But there's some builds that actually use it. Like you could use like this in tandem with this. You're gonna probably one-shot your opponent. The problem, it's too situational. There's better combination of items, but it's still a good item. Pistol sword, absolutely garbage. You could have asked me that. It doesn't do enough damage, bro. 30 damage, 3 ammo with like the items, absolute garbage. If you asked me last patch, I would have told you somewhat defense, but whatever. It's actually not good. Oh, by the way, I don't think the wiki, it doesn't actually give you the default crit chance on these items, but musket is one of the items that's good by itself because it has a 50% crit chance. Well, I think 5 seconds is too much for this. It's not even situational, so I'm just gonna put it in garbage. You guys know if you play Vanessa, there's some items you never fucking put in the board. That's what I said at the beginning. Like items you never put, they're just garbage, bro. Because you're never warranted to putting that. I'll say musket is the better one of them because it actually does damage and it does crit. It just doesn't do enough damage and it's too high a cooldown. A 5-second cooldown. Guys, like if it did more damage, I would put it on a higher tier. Because you could use it like in a Crown S build with a lighter. It's like a 2-item build, I guess, but it's not there. Logbox. When you want to fight, this gains 3 damage. Your weapons have damage to this item's value. It's just a medium item. The dooley item that gives you gains value each time it procs its cooldown, and when you sell it, it gives the core damage. It's a small item, bro, and you don't actually need to feel it. You sell it, and you already bump your core. I wish the lockbox would say, and it would actually have a better flavor text if it had worked the same way as the dooley item, but with any weapon. Like whenever you win a fight, this gains 3 value, and when you sell it, give your leftmost items damage equal to this item's value. And that would be cool, right? Because it would be an econ item. And yeah, it would be an actual good item. But it's still an econ item nonetheless. Nonetheless, it's a good econ item. I just don't think it stacks enough for you actually winning. You would rather get the 1 EXP from this than the 1 gold from this, right? So I'm just gonna put it at the worst situational item because at the end of the day, it's still an econ item. Life Preserver. This is one of the best items to put early game. Last patch, but poison just killed that shit, bro. And burn, like, this doesn't actually like remove your burn or your poison, so it's like actual garbage right now. There's actually no reason to put this whatsoever. So yeah, Phalanx is an item that I thought was gonna be worse this patch, but it's absolutely much better because how they changed the item system. You can actually get a silver Phalanx at the beginning of the game, much easier. So I'm gonna put this as consistent actually. Now that because you don't lose mirror matches anymore. If you go against another Vanessa, Phalanx is gonna kill them more often than not the first round. A lot of the characters are striking rounds, even Dooley, bro. Even Dooley sometimes just doesn't have enough to tank like 100 damage Phalanx twice. Like you can't kill the Vanessa enough to tank a double Phalanx. So Phalanx just actually quite racks better than what it used to do before. So yeah, Javelin got this is the same problem with this. It's just an absolute garbage item. When you haste reload this one 5 seconds, it's a medium item. If it was a small item, I guessed it would have been good because I think it's the only item that reloads on haste. But yeah, whatever. It's too garbage. Harpoon. This is one of the better situational items. Actually, one of the much better one. Even better than this. The problem is it was better before because the meta was slower. Now you wait 8 seconds to destroy something, bro. You're cooked. You're absolutely cooked. If you're waiting 8 seconds to destroy a small item, you're gonna get like destroyed. Katana. The top 3 Vanessa items for Crow's Nest are, in my opinion, are musket, sniper, and scimitar. And I think Katana's next, then Phalanx, because Phalanx is a bit inconsistent sometimes. But Katana's good, and Katana's is one of the best items with Water Wheel. It's better than this. It's better than this. It's better than this. Let's just put it here, dude. How the mighty have fallen. If you asked me last patch, I would have put this in broken tier. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in a situation because aquatic items just suck ass. This is absolute garbage. Following that trend, piranha just fucking suck right now. The only piranha build I see is like with this, and with like 18 piranhas, or a Crow's Nest with 18 piranhas. But I feel like that's too gimmicky, bro. You can make it work, but bro, that's like literally for a YouTube video, right? Following this, I guess figurehead is why I'm killing. The problem is figurehead's positioning is too awkward, bro. And there's times, for example, you want to put the silencer on your aquatic item with the cooldown, and you can't because of the positioning. It's a positioning issue. Use it, like when you use it, you're gonna understand what I'm saying. Like, it's a very distinct item. It's like a core. It's like a core basically because it does something on your left and then something at your right. But it just doesn't do enough. It doesn't do enough. Even with small item builds, right? You rather, I don't know, man. Maybe with small item builds because it gives 100 damage, but that's a diamond tier. I don't know. It's definitely one of the better items. It's better than. Is it better than port? It's actually not better than port. I'd rather shoot port than this. It's whatever. Double barrel. Double barrel is one of the most. I would say it's top 5 for the Crow's Nest. I think this is 5. Sorry. This is what the hell? Because if you put the ammo reloader with this is one of the better ones because double barrel is on a 3-second cooldown. And it procs 2 times. It's like doing katana twice, basically. It's better than Ray. It's better than this. It's better than this. It's better than this. It's better than this. Is it better than the katana? That is completely your opinion. I'm just gonna put it there. Dockline. Dockline is one of the best items, so I'm gonna put it in consistent because it's one of the best items to have in slow in general. Because when you have it at gold tier, you do not need any more slow interactions because it just slows 3 items for 4 seconds, bro. Once that procs, when you have Crow's Nest, you literally are making you're forcing your opponent to play your game because it's a 4-second cooldown, right? So whenever it procs again, it's just gonna keep the same items on a slow. How do I say in the slow? Basically, it just puts your opponent in your game. You're using one weapon, you're slowed down basically. So it's like a really good item. And a 4-second cooldown. Really good. Disguise. Problem. Disguise is one of the things you always buy because it might give you broken shit. So I'm just gonna put it way up here because you always buy it just to get the item to see if you get something broken. So I'm just gonna put it here. But by itself, it actually doesn't do anything. Actually, I'm pretty sure when you get this in another build, it's actually broken because it gives all your item 50% crit chance on a diamond. And that's actually really good. That's like a mini crow's nest. Now that I think about it, that's actually really good. Cutlass, absolutely broken. They're gonna have to do something with this eventually, because I think it does way too much DPS. You guys don't know what the numbers are on double crit damage. It's way too fucking much. And I feel like they should change its cooldown. I feel it's way too broken. Because if they actually just try to level the floor with dooley, Vanessa's gonna start just chopping heads off on all the other characters because it's like a rock paper scissors meta right now. Pig, you can't kill Pig with Vanessa because Pig has too much fucking health, bro. Unless your build is like super, but that's another talk. But it's like gatekeep. It's like a gatekeep. They gatekeep each other. Vanessa just one shots dooley. Dooley kill out phases pigs. Like you can actually poison pigs' health out, right? You can't actually just burst it out, but you can poison him out. So right. So if they like lower dooley, it's just gonna switch to like the rock paper scissors meta. Because there's 3 characters, whether you want to not believe it or see it or not, there's a rock paper scissors meta. Some characters just absolutely have a better matchup against others, and Cutlass, it's too good, bro. It's way too good. You put, and I've ranted about this so much in my fucking videos. When Cutlass gets, it can't be slow or destroyed. You absolutely just lose, bro. That's the only counter to Cutlass because if you have Bloodhound, if you have Flurry of Fist, you're just gonna lose, bro. and even when dooley has the poison, what's it called, the poison ability that every time you poison you lower something's attack. Even I've played matches when I have that in diamond, it's either a very close fight or Vanessa just one shots you because the Bloodhound is just gonna one shot you. That's how bad it is. Captain's Wheel is one of the Vanessa's better haste items. I think it's like top end right here. And then we'll mix this with other items too. So very good item. Let's just put it up there. Cannon, I think it's on par with actually, if you asked me before, Trebuchet was good with better with Cannon. I don't know if it's just as good because I really ever put this in my build. I think there's better items, but it's still a really good early build weapon. So let's just put it here. Blunderbuss. The only problem with Blunderbuss is it only comes in a golden tier. I'm just gonna put it high situational because I know it breaks some builds by itself alone. Next we got Beach Ball, bro. Anything that has an aquatic interaction right now is absolutely garbage, bro. Free my boy Pufferfish. Bro, whenever you use a non-item item, give this +1. This goes to the same reasoning with the turtle shell. They're like literally almost the same item, so that we're gonna put it there. Then we have Astrolabe. Astrolabe, I'm gonna put it broken. I'm gonna put it broken because I think the item is way too good. It says when you use a non-weapon item, this and it gains haste for 1, 2, or 3 seconds. You can make builds around Astrolabe themselves, and I'm not even talking about Trebuchet, but when other characters again have Astrolabe, they just absolutely break themselves because there's some builds that need enablers, and when I need enablers, I mean like you're gonna need something in your build. I could talk that more in depth in other videos that just help your build do what it needs to do. And I'm gonna give you an example. When you have dooley and if you have Monitor the Lizard, you put Poison Rays so you can rack up your poison on Monitor the Lizard so you have more poison procs. But let's say you have Astrolabe. instead of animal core, for example, bro, then Astral absolutely gonna do the same. It's gonna fill the same criteria as animal core does for monitor lizard, and that by itself is broken. If you have any item that works like a core item, if that makes sense, it just fills the gap of what a build needs to work with itself together. When you have consistent haste on an item that you can freeze it and it still has its own effect, it's what makes it broken. Because let's say you have, for example, an Aiden. I'm just gonna give you a small example. You have an Aiden, and the Aiden haste something. But if you freeze the Aiden or slow the Aiden, your haste is broken. Your haste chain is broken. So your opponent has like a few seconds to catch up to your damage. But Astrolabe just hastes itself. There's nothing to freeze. If your non-item out of procs, it's just gonna keep hasting itself. So it's one of the most broken items Vanessa has. And Arbalest is, I'm going to put Arbalest as one of the most consistent items right now. I don't think people fiddle with this a lot, but the simple fact you can get ammo monster loot makes this absolutely better, because that means you can go like Astrolabe, Water Wheel, 3 more other items in Arbalest, and this Arbalest is going to like ramp up so much damage, and you're just going to need to shoot it twice or some shit like that to like kill your opponent. So this is one of the better items. But it's not as consistent as the other ones, because you need to like hit monster loot. You actually need to hit water wheel and astral. By that time, you're actually just building a trebuchet build, but it is good. Then I think this is the last one, and I missed what the hell is this called, bro? This item was really good in the last patch, but it actually doesn't do anything now. Fuck, where the hell is the name of this item? Bro, coral armor. When you buy an aquatic, guys, anything that has to do with aquatic is absolutely garbage. You can argue with me that the small ones do have an interaction because they haste each other for trebuchet procs, but bro, shield is just not what it used to be, and 6-second cooldown is way too much. The meta is too fast. And the last one, but not the least, is Anchor, which does 30% of your opponent's max health, which again is really good with crit, but the problem is this has a 12-second cooldown, which just makes it way too situational. I'm going to put it on the last. 12-second cooldown on an item is not good, bro. Then let's go to the spicy shit. It says Amulet. It says Amulet. Vanessa's Amulet, which gives 10, 23, 30, 40 crit chance. If you'd have told me last patch, this item would have been good, but now the only crit builds with Vanessa are just Crow's Nest. So I'm just going to put that in a situation because you might slap it on some builds there, not because it's still small items. By the way, small items are less prone to being shit just because they cover one item slot. Again, I mentioned that the more slots something takes in your build, the more prone it is to be shit. Because if the item doesn't do anything, of course it's garbage. But at least if you have a build that just needs one slot, you can warrant putting this, because you have 30% crit. That means, you know, and it's not even weapon, it's your items. That's why this is really good. I'm glad they didn't put a weapon restriction on that, because it actually makes it like interchangeable in some builds. Throwing knives, this isn't what it used to do before. But I guess the charge isn't that important because it's already on a 3-second cooldown. That doesn't matter. The problem is it does 5, 10, 20, 40 damage, bro. And if I'm not mistaken, throwing knives damage this last patch was, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, it was 20, 40, 60, 80, right? It was double. No, not even double. It started just halving on 40, but now it's 5, bro. That's really garbage. Holy. Switchblade says when you're using a adjacent weapon, give it 12 for the fight, and that's on a diamond. I think that's way too low, bro. You can't use it. You can't use it on one weapon build because it's a weapon, which I think that's one of the problems for this. If it wasn't a weapon, it would actually really be good. But as far as weapons go, this isn't like the worst one. I should move Switchblade up because it's like if you make a combination of these items, it's actually good. But this doesn't do anything by itself. Silencer is one of the most broken items. Like if you have one item builds, let's say even with Pig, even with Dooley, bro, reducing the fucking cooldown on an item is 40 seconds, guys. You know what a 40-second cooldown reduction is, that is, bro. There's times, there's builds like where like you get, fuck, I forgot what the skill is called. There's a skill from one of the wolves, or yeah, from one of the wolves that makes your diamond small items have 30% cooldown. Imagine stacking a silencer next to a small item. I've seen like fangs have like a 0.4 second cooldown or some shit like that. It's thanks to silencer. Like silencer just makes llama super broken because it goes from 12 seconds from 6 seconds, some fucking ridiculous shit like that. It's like an absolutely broken item. The problem is it doesn't do too much on the earlier tier, so you need to upgrade it. That's the only problem. And the damage isn't too absurd, the damage it gives. So the damage is actually absurd on the diamond tier, but it's fine. Shoeblade, I think it's actually, it's not its time, because diamond Shoeblade has 100% crit chance on a 6-second cooldown. I don't know if it warrants for anything, but it's on its time. Actually, I'm gonna put it garbage because at least the switchblades have have some use in multiple weapon builds, but that's just it. Seaweed is one of the better aquatic items. Actually, I'm gonna put it as consistent because if you do have an aquatic item build, this uses it. And I'm gonna put seashell too as a consistent aquatic item. I'm just gonna put them last because there's some builds that actually use this, because them by themselves they actually do something. Because this shields by a lot, this heals by a lot, and this super stacks, right? Revolver, I'm gonna put it. It's one of the items that helps you out early game. It's not really a situational because you actually feel this. Actually, just put it as situation, but let's put it really higher up because you put it. Oh, this is a really good item. Powder flask. Listen, powder flask, especially when you get like the potions like the ones that slow, the ones that the freeze potion. This item goes absolutely nuts. And with Vanessa, you make shotgun really good. You make cannonball really good. So it's one of the best consistent items for Vanessa. Like it makes the ammo weapons like usable. Dude, pop snappers, when port was actual thing, pop snappers was one of the best burn items. I'm just gonna put it in a situational, but stacking pop snappers was an actual thing. So for you one shot your opponent. But how the mighty have fallen. Piranha, I'm gonna put it a top situation. It's the same thing as this. You actually just feel this sometimes to get like cheesy ones at the beginning. Pet rock is one of the better ones. Because it's when it's your only friend, but gain 20% crit chance. This is one of the better standalone items. It's just situation, but it's a very good standalone item. So let's put it here. It's one of the items you actually want to get when you're playing as another character, because it's like, well, 20% crit chance with a weapon that's a pet weapon friend. Sorry, it actually has like very good combinations. Pesky Pete. Guys, I wish that this is something else, but it only does 4 and 6 for each adjacent property. This gain 4/8 burn. If it was just a friend proc, I would put it a little bit higher, but the property is just so situational to put it. 6-second cooldown is a lot. Like it's just complete garbage, bro. But I'm just gonna put it here just because it has a lot of burn. Maybe you can just make it work somehow. Complete garbage. Pearl is one of the better aquatic items. We're just gonna put it in consistent because it's one of the better ones. Nesting Gall doesn't. If you get it early enough, maybe, but not really, bro. But there's worse items in Nesting Gall. Narwhal is what I call what Chris Army Knife should be for Vanessa, but it doesn't fucking feel like that. And it's an aquatic weapon friend, and I guess in earlier patches it did feel like that, but right now it's not that, bro. Like 4-second dual cooldown for 40 damage. I think Dooley does more than that. I think Dooley does 50 damage. If I'm not mistaken, Dooley is 45 damage and 45 shield on a 5-second cooldown. Why is Narwhal only 40 damage on a 4-second cooldown? It makes absolutely no sense. Yes, it does have an aquatic weapon and a friend tag, but it's not like Chris Army Knife where it has like, if you have one friend it does something, you have a tool it does something. Like Chris Army Knife actually has like you do need it in some build. Like it's absolutely needed, and no matter what build you do, it does something. If you're using Core Dooley, it does something. If you're using Friend Dooley, of course it does something. It's a friend, you can like, it just feels too many spot. Narwhals does not feel like that. Lighter is okay. Let's see if I want to put it. I think it's one of the best. How do I say best fire items in the game, right? And I'm gonna explain why. The way fire works is that if you let your fire tick off, and what I mean by that is each time you let your fire proc get reduced by one, instead of you feeding the fire, no pun intended, it actually detriments your DPS. But lighter being on a 3-second cooldown is one of the only small items instead of matches, but matches is absolutely broken. That's Pig's item. That is gonna keep your burn going, and it's on a 3-second cooldown. So if you're burning, let's say for example with this shit item, then lighter's like one of the best ones. And you can get it on a bronze item. Oh, that's another thing too that I forgot to mention. The simple fact that you can get some items on bronze just like raises up its value or its positioning in the tier list by a lot. And lighter being like a bronze item to get is like really good. GT is one of the better slow items for slow weapon Vanessa, but it's a gimmicky build, but it's one of the better ones because it's stackable item. So if you put like GT with this, you actually have a build going. It's like it's good. It's 5 seconds, which is I don't want to say it's good, but it's decent. If it was on a 4-second cooldown, it would be much better. Jellyfish, I'm gonna put jellyfish here because it does haste. You can actually do some trebuchet builds with it. It's not the worst one, but grab my boy pufferfish. Probably the 5th time I've said that, so whatever. Bro, this is one of the items that I wish it wasn't in a weapon either. Fuck, which one? What's this called? I put it out of order. Okay, let's just leave it for later. Let's have incendiary rounds. When using adjacent item verb for 2, adjacent items have 1 ammo. The only thing incendiary suffers from it being a diamond item, but it is an absolutely crazy fucking item. I feel like I can't put it as consistent because just it being a diamond item doesn't warrant the word consistent. Because what are you fucking gonna get in incendiary rounds? You're gonna get it most likely from a PvE round. The problem is when you put it on like an example on an incendiary dooley, it goes nuts, bro. Like it fucking goes nuts, especially since you can put it like on the right of a battery and the battery gets an extra ammo. And there's like some situations where the incendiary just goes crazy. It shouldn't have adjacent item plus 1 ammo, by the way. I mean, it kind of makes sense because it's an ammo item, but I don't know. It's a really good item. Let's put it last consistent just because it's a diamond, but it's really good. Illusory. Bro, it'd be a crime if I didn't actually put this as consistent. But again, all these aquatic items are really bad. But the simple fact this thing can have multicast 4, I'm gonna put it here just because if you have this on Friend Dooley is absolutely fucking broken, and I can't stress that fucking enough. Loser Ray on Friend Dooley is absolutely broken, so I'm just gonna put it on the least consistent item. Otherwise, it would be on a release situation item on Vanessa itself. Ice Pick. It says freeze an ender for 1 second, 1, 2, 3 seconds, which is good, but it's on a 7-second cooldown. When you freeze this game 5, 10, 15, which is actually a very wanted stackable item. But I guess there's something you can actually try to build a freeze build, not with Vanessa, but you can draft this. And I guess it's decent if you have a freeze build, but it's not happening. Actually, I'm gonna put it as garbage because I've never fucking seen that before in my life. Let's just fucking put it there. Holding Steel is one of the better ones. Because in one item builds, it helps you get wins that you wouldn't naturally get because you're missing upgrades or you're missing sharpening stones. So this is one of the better items. I'm gonna put it on par with the items because it's just okay. This is one of the most broken items, and I'm not gonna put it. If it were last patch, I would have put it on will be nerfed, but it would be such a crime if I wouldn't put it on broken. It's just a really good item. Okay, I'm gonna put it on the top of inconsistent, which is holster at the center of the bite. Your small item gains haste. Guys, what are the most broken items you can have in your build is what I call starters. Aiden is a starter, holster is a starter. When you have items that haste their first iteration of their activation just haste. That's what it does. It hastes, and it just kickstarts your build, and you're actually like you're actually like 1 second ahead or 2 second ahead of the race against your opponent, guys. That in the Bazaar right now is when the meta is faster. That's one of the most broken things you can do, because imagine if you have like, I'm gonna give you. I hate to fucking keep repeating fucking friend dooley, but if you have friend dooley, you put the holster. You have 3 small friends. You're already procking the core animal core. That means you're already like eons away from your opponent when you have the holster. So it's a really good item. I wish Vanessa had more small item builds, but the meta for Vanessa is just large item builds, as you can see, because you have 3 broken large items. So it is what it is. Grenade, have the mighty have fallen, bro. Dude, I remember Diamond Grenade used to do 300 fucking damage, and it was on a 50% crit, bro. I actually think it was more. Now it's on a 25% crit. These items are just absolutely guttered. Fuck, bro. A head is still one of the better ones, because 50 damage is like good. Most of these items is gonna put them randomly. Just don't pay attention to them, because they're actually just situational, but they're not garbage, right? Does that make sense? You still might slap them on your build sometimes, but they're not actually like bad. I'm just gonna put this in garbage. This is absolutely garbage. You're never gonna fucking feel this. Even the grenade, you never feel this. Like, you're actually better just popping this. I'm gonna put this right now. This is one of the better ammo items, because it actually does something. It slows, so it does something. This is one of the what's this called? This is called, shit, I can't believe I missed this. Bayonet. Well, actually, Bayonet's damage is really good. The only problem with Bayonet, I wish it wasn't a weapon, because it just fucks up a lot of builds, it being a weapon. But I guess it works really well with, like, with Katana, because it, like, basically what Bayonet does, it like, you have to know that you gotta be able to compare some of the items in a more intricate effect. Like, this says whenever you use a weapon to the left, there is deal 40 damage, 5, 10, 20, 40 damage. What this means is that this item basically has the same cooldown as the item to the left, right? So that means if you have a 2-second katana, you have a 2-second proc of bayonet, which is really good, because the katana is a medium item, bayonet is a small item. So you're essentially doing, katana has like a 4-second damage cooldown, 4 damage on a 2-second cooldown at a bronze tier. Bayonet has 5. That means your bayonet is literally out damaging your katana the first round, or the first few rounds, which is really good. That means that you have a bronze katana along with a bayonet. That means your DPS is actually supposed to be really good, right? Or the bayonet's value is supposed to be really good. So I don't even fucking know where I put it, but I'm gonna trust my brain that I put it in somewhere decent, right, Manny? Okay, I put it here. It deserves to be way better. It's like one of the good. It's one of the better items early game. Absolutely. Aquatic items garbage, by the way. Don't put that shit in my face. Grape shot. I don't think there's enough weapon. There's not enough weapon or ammo interactions for this to actually be good. If you say this is good, then this is good. But the problem, this is bad, so this is bad, right? So, because this only reloads every time you use an ammo item. 3-second cooldown is a lot. The problem is 50 damage isn't a lot. I feel like Vanessa's niche was a lot of small weapons, bro, and they nerfed them too much, bro. If you see, Vanessa's has a lot of synergy with small items, but if the items themselves are garbage, how are you gonna warrant building them? You have to skill them up, and you can't, because you're just gonna sack too much early game on them. Grape shot is absolutely garbage. This item, it says gain 1, 2, 3 gold on an 8-second cooldown, was absolutely broken last patch, but the fucking meta is too quick, bro. You can't actually warrant playing this, because you just get way too much gold just winning the round, right? So even for this being a small item, by the way, it doesn't do enough damage for you to put it anyways. If it did a little more damage, where it wouldn't be such a detriment putting on a PvP round, then sure. But 8 seconds is way too much, and 1, 2, 3 gold is way too little. So I can't even put it here because it doesn't even do enough damage. There's better. Let's put it in here because it's still an econ item. There's some you might actually sack rounds because your build is garbage and you can get like 2 gold procs out of that. But 16 seconds is a lot, bro. I just want to put it in garbage right now. There's no way this actually. This is better with core dooley. If core dooley is get, bro, let's just put it in garbage. I'm pretty sure it's the best garbage item. Clamor is one of the better aquatic items. I'm gonna put it next to here. Actually, it's better than most of this because Clamor actually does something. Let's put it here. Because Clamor, what Clamor has good is that Clamor slows at the beginning of the round. So you start by your opponent saying no to your opponent, and it's actually really decent, right? It has a high cooldown, but that doesn't matter because the only value comes from it is it doing it at the start of the fight, and when you put it on the crow's nest build, it's an item that's freezable. So your opponent has like you have less percentages of your weapon getting frozen. The Clamor can get frozen, right? Chum aquatic items are again garbage. If Piranha's here, then this is here, right? It makes a lot of sense. Catfish, this is one of the only items that I've seen Poison and Vanessa try to probably make it, but I'm gonna put it here. Just it's not actually situational. If Poison and Vanessa is the thing because these items are so broken, like Astrolabe. I guess this might actually work with some iteration, whatever. Cannonball is just garbage. If Burst Vanessa was a thing, it would be good. Butterfly swords. This is what this is actually. Doesn't butterfly swords have like 5 multicast? Is this the wiki here correct? I think so, right? Yeah, 7 second cooldown is too much on a 5 damage item. It's too garbage, bro. Let's put it here. 7 second cooldown is too much. See the bolas. The bolas actually I might put the bolas up because the bolas do. Bro, the bolas do more damage than the throwing knives. That makes absolutely no sense. Because this shit slows, bro. Like, this actually just does something for 2 seconds. Even, I would put this, like, even on a regular build. Because 4 seconds slow, this is actually a good item, by the way. This is, I gotta raise this up because this is a good standalone item. Even if you put this on a trebuchet build, it's good. Because it slows, it might actually like hinder your opponent down like enough for you to actually get this duel going. The blowgun, the only problem with the blowgun, it comes at a diamond tier, but it's a good item because it slows equal to its damage and it's a 6 second cooldown. So let's say for example you have Ray Dooley, you have Weapon Ray with Poison Ray. This shit absolutely goes bonkers. Like what the hell, but. The 6 second cooldown isn't too much because it's like an Exodia. It's like an infinite stacking weapon. The problem is it's on a Vanessa. And Vanessa doesn't have enough damage stacking for this to be a thing. So it's like really awkward, bro. But for it being good on other characters, because I've seen even Pig abuse this item. I'm just going to put it in the middle. And Ambergris is one of the best aquatic item econ items because you buy it for 2 gold. You start buying like rope, you start buying like cove, you start buying like shit, and it'll actually by the time you sell it, it's worth like 8 gold. It's a good econ item that you can buy at the beginning. So let's just put it last ass consistent because you always do buy at the beginning of the game. Okay, guys, I hope you like the tier list. Here it is. Look at it correctly. Yeah, as far as this goes, this is just for this patch. I hope I hope we give you enough information why I put it on this patch and not on the last patches, or gave you a combination of why I feel right now or why later it can be broken or whatnot. But yeah, I hope you guys like the list, like my opinion. If you didn't, just rant below, just like I do it anyways, by the way. You see my videos, I rant like for 20 hours. I just don't fucking film half of it, but I am ranting, so you can rant at me like, hey Manny, pufferfish is fine. Bro, if you saw my earlier videos, pufferfish was my homie. I literally slept with that guy. Hugged him. He was literally stealing my pillow. He was stealing my blanket. Pufferfish was my boy, bro. You understand me? That was my guy. I'm literally no way to Pufferfish. I love that guy. I hate modern litter, bro, and I play it. Come on, free my boy Pufferfish for the 15 times of this video. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you guys are having a good start of this year, and I hope you guys to hear this again. Remember to like and subscribe. I love you boys, and I hope you guys have a good adventure on your next Bazaar game. Peace.